black and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Girl Scout Troop 70712.
Okay, let's bow our heads together. Father, we thank you for the day you give us and an opportunity to serve this community. May you lead and guide us as we deliberate and make decisions that will be in the best benefit for our citizens. Thank you for all of your blessings. This we ask in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Mrs. Phelps.
Councilwoman Horton. Here. Councilman Crocker.
Here.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Councilman Davis.
Here.
Councilman Black.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem McVeigh.
Here.
Mayor DeGaris.
Here.
We have 7 present.
Thank you. Disclosure of interest. Any member of the City Council may disclose any possible conflict of interest dealing with either any item on the printed agenda or with any matter discussed at a previous meeting.
Hey, Mayor, I'll have a conflict of interest regarding Resolution 1857.
Okay. No others? Citizens input. Each person in the audience may take this opportunity to address the City Council on any matter which is not on the printed agenda.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, council. Thank you for being here for us.
We need
My name is Jerry Bodorf. I live at 1301 White Oak Drive. And I'm here in the capacity of a community awareness, a need that I've seen growing worse in the past few years that we are trying to help with. We're not going to rectify, but just trying to help, and that's the foster children. We are coming up with fundraisers and such for the 36th Judicial District, which covers the Butler and Ripley counties. Right now there are approximately 290 foster children involved. And, excuse me, just to show what kind of money is involved a little bit, and these are very approximate. For 0 to 5-year-old children, the family that is holding them for the state care gets $290 a year. Yes, there are other stipends for taking them to the hospital. You know, they're on Medicaid and such like that, but that's to feed them and clothe them and such like that. And what we have found out is there's not much of a Christmas for these children. And we have gone with mutual aid with Westwood Baptist Church. They are the main sponsor. They're the ones that hold the Christmas for the children and such. We put on a fundraiser and give the money towards Westwood, and they take care of the monies like that. What we are trying to do is put on a free informative luncheon on May 31st, starting at noon at 1903 Northwood Drive. That's where the Children's Services is. And we're going to basically, it's a free luncheon. It's going to consist of smoked pork steaks, baby back ribs, pulled pork, and chicken. And of course, all the sides that the people are going to be bringing along with that kind of they're bringing a potluck, but it's going to be enough for everybody. The cooks on this is going to be the AMVETS Post 29 cook team along with the SEMO Motorsports cook team. And like I said, I'm just bringing this to an awareness to invite anybody, to invite you all personally, and to also invite anybody that is seriously considering the foster program. They are short-handed. The first step, you know, they try and get the child with a relative, and sometimes those relatives cannot afford it all that easy. And then they go to the foster family, which they are short of. What we are trying to do right now is raise money strictly for the Christmas. Get them toys, get them a Christmas. We hope this grows into something bigger, but that's our starting point right now. Does anybody have any questions?
What time is it on the 31st?
12 o'clock is starting.
That's a Wednesday, right?
Yes. The only other comment that I have right now is I'd like to thank you all very, very much for passing the housing for the veterans on Eugene. That is, I know, not a favorite of everybody's, but I do believe, me as a veteran myself, knowing that the veterans that we deal with on the street and at these veteran clubs, I believe it's going to be a very good thing for the city, and I thank you all very much.
Thank you. Mr. Lawson?
Good to see some old friends. Robert's hair is a little grayer than it was. Other than that, it looks the same. So is Ron's.
Thank you.
Anyway, first I want to say that I'm very proud of the fact that you all still say a prayer to start the meeting, that you all pledge allegiance to the United States of America. Glad to see those kids do that. You realize how infrequent that is across our country? For a lot of reasons. Poplar Bluff's still a great place to live and work. The reason I really came is to say hello to all of you that I haven't seen in a long time, but mainly to congratulate Mark Messingham for that very, very appropriate opinion page about the help that the community has been to the flood victims. And if you haven't read it, that's worth I don't know, a couple of years now, I might give him another raise. Anyhow, I enjoyed it. I was very proud of him. He just nailed it, He didn't leave out anyone. I just assumed probably that Barbara Horton wrote it for him, but I was older. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, seriously, Mark, I thought it was super. Glad you did it. I knew that represented the feelings of all of your council members. Poplar Bluff always has a lot of things going on. It's the most generous community that I think that I'm aware of anywhere. And it will always be that, and we still have a lot of challenges ahead of us, and you know that. And you'll continue to be as supportive and as concerned about getting the job done right as you always have been. Again, thanks, Mark, and all the rest of you for being good council members for Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's none others. Consent agenda. The items on the consent agenda are approved by a single action of the City Council. If any council member would like to have an item removed from the consent agenda and considered separately, he or she may request to do so.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Workshop items for discussion. Item A, the City Council review a request from Mobility LLC for permission to erect a 120-foot monopole tower directly behind CVS Pharmacy at 225 North Westwood Boulevard, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Mr. Massingham?
Yes, this is the group that came to us back on April 3rd and wanted to put it on the 10th Street site, and I don't think the council was in too much in favor of it, neither was I. It was really just a bad location. They have selected a site behind CVS. There's a power station back there, and there's a right-of-way between CVS and the power station. I talked to Bill Bach, and Bill's talked to Lynn Coleman, our electric superintendent, and neither one of them have a problem with it. They think it'll be fine there. So we're just recommending that you pass this on to the June 5th voting session.
Make a motion to move to June 5th voting session.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to action required items. Resolution number 1856. The City Council will take action on the resolution making appointments to the Airport Advisory Board, Downtown Poplar Bluff Board, Municipal Utilities Advisory Board, Tree Advisory Board, and Zoning Board of Adjustments.
Move for first reading resolution number 1856 by caption only.
Second.
Motion second for the reading of Resolution 1856. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Richardson?
Mr. Mayor, before I read this, I know it's entirely out of order and unprecedented, but I would ask that the City Council consider an admonition against our friend and former City Manager Tom Lawson, because with that beautiful speech, he left one thing out, and that is he failed to recognize his beautiful bride, who is with us tonight. And if he is, maybe it was just an oversight. If it wasn't an oversight, then I would request that the mayor recognize her in lieu of Mr. Lawson.
Glad to have you, Mr. Lawson.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Poplar Bluff making appointments to the Airport Advisory Board, the Downtown Poplar Bluff Board, the Municipal Utilities Advisory Board, and Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Move for adoption of Resolution 1856.
Second.
Motion second to adopt. Any questions or comments?
I
Roll call,
have a-
Mrs. Phelps.
I have a question. The numbers are not matching up on our papers.
On the
Are they out of
pages.
order? I just want to make sure that we have them in the right order. 1856 is not listed. It's on Resolution A. Let me go back and make
This
sure.
got messed up in the scanning. probably.
Well, it matters whether Steve is in here.
He doesn't go till 1857,
1857.
which is the next one.
Right, but they're backwards in my papers.
On my
If I'm
paper
read-
says 1856 for the first one. What
Yeah.
does yours say?
It says 1856, but we're actually reading 1857.
No, he
Yeah. Am I not
That's
reading it
right.
right?
he read this.
He read that, but when you read it here, it says 1857.
Yeah, but if you look back one page, Exhibit A, it's got the resolution number on that.
135. Page 135.
If you all think it's right, I'll back off, but I don't think it's right.
If it's clerical.
I just don't want
let's
it to
ask
kick
the
him out.
Clerk to make the adjustments, clerical error, but I think it's right, Susan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at
Roll
this
call,
one.
Mrs. Phelps.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilman Crocker,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
Councilman Black,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McVeigh,
Yes.
Mayor DeGaris.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution number 1856 is passed. Resolution number 1857, the City Council will take action on a resolution making appointments to the Animal Control Advisory Board, Arts and Museum Advisory Board, Fair Housing Committee, Historical Preservation Commission, Housing Authority Board, Library Board of Trustees, Park Board, Planning and Zoning Commission, Disabilities Advisory Board, and the Black River Coliseum Advisory Board of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Motion for adoption.
Move for
to
first,
read it
you have to read it.
Okay, motion for reading, sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second for the reading of Resolution 1857. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Except we didn't have the right wording. That word
By caption only.
by caption, yeah.
Mr. Richardson?
It's Monday.
Keep bringing
It's
me
Monday.
along, folks, will you?
A resolution of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri, making appointments to the Animal Control Advisory Board, the Arts and Museum Advisory Board, Fair Housing Committee, Historical Preservation Commission, Housing Authority Board, Library Board of Trustees, Park Board, Planning and Zoning Commission, and Disabilities Advisory Board, and the Black River Coliseum Advisory Board of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Move for adoption of resolution number 1857.
Second.
Motion second to adopt. Any questions or comments? Roll call, Mrs. Phelps.
Councilman Crocker,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Davis, Councilman Black,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McVeigh?
Yes.
Mayor DeGaris?
Yes.
We have 6 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution number 1857 is passed. Resolution number 1858, the city council will take action on a resolution making appointments to the plumbing board, electrical wiring board, building standards board, and the heating and air conditioning HVACR board of the city of Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Move for reading resolution number 1858 by caption only.
Second.
Motion and second for the reading of resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Richardson?
A resolution of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri, making appointments to the Plumbing Board, the Electrical Wiring Board, the Building Standards Board, and the Heating and Air Conditioning Board of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Move for adoption of resolution number 1858.
Second.
Motion and second to adopt the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, Mrs. Phelps.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Councilman Black?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Crocker?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McVeigh?
Yes.
Mayor DeGaris?
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution number 1858 is passed. Item DD, the City Council of the City of Poplar Bluff will meet in a closed meeting in which they will discuss such matters which are exempt under the Open Meeting Law, Section 610.021.1, .2, .3, .9, .11, .12, .13, and .14 of the revised statutes of Missouri.
Make a motion we move into closed session after the city manager's report.
Second.
Motion second. Roll call, Ms. Phelps.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Crocker?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Councilman Black?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McVeigh?
Yes.
Mayor DeGaris?
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Thank you. Mr. Massingham.
Just a couple items. As you look at Black River, you can see it's still really high. It's going to continue to stay that way until they're able to stabilize Clearwater Lake. It's also very muddy. Looks more like the Copper River than the Black River. Never seen it this color before, but I'd like to thank the Water Department for doing a fantastic job of taking that kind of water and turning it into the clear water that comes out of our faucets. I know they're working very hard down there to keep it up to the standards they have to. Also, there's still dumpsters available at the old Buff Up the Bluff site for any of the flood victims that need to dispose of debris from the flood or furniture, whatever they might have. And just wanted to thank Mr. Lawson for his kind words. But remember, he was my mentor for 14 years, so he probably deserves a lot of that credit. So that's all I had.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.
It's like chocolate milk out there sometimes.
Oh, awful.